Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It was January 5th of this year that Trudeau announced he would be stepping down as prime minister when they found his appropriate replacement. And that replacement came yesterday, Sunday, March 9th, 2025. And I want to talk about how perfect the Canada ritual is, as well as the Jesuit ritual. Of course, Trudeau, Jesuit educated, just like his father, just like Donald Trump, who they're beefing with in the trade war. And he's been replaced by a Jesuit educated man. We're going to see how perfect all of it is. And I would hope that with each of these videos that we present, it turns one more skeptic, and I don't want to say into a believer, because belief is lack of evidence, just a thinker, a seer, someone who gets it, that the Jesuits run these nations. And that's the real reason there's a trade war right now. It goes along with what that Jesuit at the World Economic Forum said, Klaus Schwab, by 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. And since he made those remarks in June of 2020, we've seen prices escalate across the board in everything we, the consumer society, have to spend our money on, from food to insurance to everything else, but especially food and insurance and energy, because those are pretty much the things that most people have to pay money on. Interest rates as well. But let's go over the perfect ritual of Mark Carney, the new liberal, replacing Justin Trudeau, the liberal. Again, if you're new here, the practice of coding numbers into words comes from Kabbalah. It's known as gematria or gematria. And there are four base ciphers of the English language. Again, if you look into history, you'll see the Jesuits implemented the Gregorian calendar that says this happened on March 9th, 2025, the transition of prime ministers. But the Jesuits implemented the calendar at the same time they standardized the English alphabet with 26 letters. And it's very obvious that they put a system in place that syncs up the language English with the calendar using old world practices. Again, the practice of coding numbers into words goes back to where language comes from, Sumer. But there's four base ciphers: the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology applied. With numerology, when you run the alphabetic order forwards, Canada's 15. Trudeau, his father was the 15th prime minister. Trudeau became the prime minister in 2015. He announced on January 5th that he'd be stepping down when they found the right replacement. 15, 15, 15. What day does he get replaced? He gets replaced on March 9th, written 39 commonly over here in North America, like 39. And again, the difference between 15 and 39 is you're running the alphabetic order in reverse with numerology. That's where Canada is 39. Forwards with numerology is where it's 15. Also, in light of what they just did with the four nations face-off and Canada beating the U.S. on the 51st day of the year, saying, no, we won't become the 51st state, it just reminds me that Canada hasn't won the Stanley Cup since 93. Yesterday's date can also be written 9-3. Well, we'll see if that drought is near an end. Again, the NHL is completely scripted, just like the NBA, the MLB, the NFL. All these sports leagues are completely rigged and scripted. You learn this knowledge. You can take advantage of it every day. For anyone who doubts that, you should join the Patreon. We absolutely destroy the NHL on the daily. NHL is one of the easiest sports to predict because there's an extra category in hockey, points. So you'll be amazed how often the win-loss record lines up with the points versus the opponent. You're like, oh, look at that. They can get the perfect win and the perfect points versus this team. Anyhow, Canada 1539. Trudeau was Mr. 15. Now we get the new PM on 39. And of course, Trudeau has that very Catholic birthday, December 25th, Sol Invictus, or in more recent history, Jesus' birthday. And notice from his birthday to Mark Joseph Carney becoming his replacement was 74 days later. Mark Joseph Carney equates to 74. Again, we're talking about the Jesuits, who are the Society of Jesus, where that's the number encoded in Jesus' name, the English name. And just for the record, just notice how Masonic is 74, Occult is 74, English is 74, Gematria is 74. There's a lot more to this 74 list. But with regards to the Jesuits, Jesus, Cross, Messiah, Gospel, Parables, Again, modern Freemasonry, many of the rites of Freemasonry are written by Jesuit priests. Look up the Pope, the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, doing the hidden hand, which is a Masonic pose. Pope Francis literally equals Freemasonry forwards and backwards, and including equaling 58, like how he became a Jesuit in 58. But yeah, again, this just couldn't be any more Society of Jesus, this ritual, as we transition from one Jesuit educated man to another. And again, 74, huge number that we talk about all the time down here in the US, Canada's southern neighbor, a nation founded by largely Masons. The nation's birthday, of course, is 7/4. Canada's birthday is just days before July 1st. But you can see Mark Carney, St. Peter's College. And where did he go to high school? St. Francis Xavier High School. Jesuit educated, Ivy League educated, Catholic educated. He takes over as prime minister at age 59, just days before his 316 birthday. 316, Jesus. Does it remind you anything? John 3:16. Most famous verse in the New Testament, John 3:16. But yes, 59 years old as he takes over the Liberal Party. Keep in mind, Pope Francis equates to 59. Freemasonry equals 58 and 59, just like Pope Francis equals 58 and 59. Benedict stepped down on the 59th day of the year for Francis. The 59th U.S. presidential election is where Biden became number 46, exactly 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, when Catholics 46. This recent episode where they made it seem like the Pope might die, as Conclave, the movie, was getting all this attention at the Oscars. Again, these things aren't an accident, but Pope Francis got hospitalized on Valentine's 59 days after his birthday. So 59 is a huge number with the Jesuit Pope. This transition to Jesuit leaders, while Mark Carney is age 59. And then the other thing is he's going after Trump, right? Donald Trump equals 60. He's going to turn 60 on March 16th. Donald Trump equals 60. He just won, with a big asterisk, the 60th U.S. presidential election. Again, nobody really wins these elections in the U.S. They're all rigged and predetermined. It's the same thing, I'm sure, in Canada. But if you run his name in reverse, Mark Joseph Carney, instead of it equaling 74, like we talked about, in reverse, it equals 88, like Trump equals 88. So he's going to be the new PM to go toe-to-toe with Trump over the trade war, where Trump's looking schizophrenic. We're instituting the tariffs. Oh, we're pausing them. Oh, we're instituting, we're pausing them. I might up it to 250%. I mean, it's just like crazy nonsense. And realize the people up at the top who are part of this rigged puppet show, there's a lot of money to be made in between all this stuff going on. And that's really why they do this. And it keeps, the common person in a state of anxiety, not knowing, probably having to go out and help Big Pharma buy some more anti-anxiety pills, everything else that's going on, down another bottle of alcohol, whatever, smoke some more, extra cigs. Again, everything they do is about manipulating the populace with these rigged puppet shows going on, where it keeps everybody pointing fingers. It's his fault. No, it's his fault. Oh, it's that guy's fault. It's the last guy in office fault. Again, meanwhile, who's controlling the puppet show? The Jesuits. The Jesuits, as they keep plugging in Jesuit leaders all over the world. And for the next one that comes around and goes, well, is it because there's a lot of Jesuit schools? No, there's not a lot of Jesuit schools. What percentage of the population do you think is Jesuit educated? Easily less than a fraction of a percent. So for all these people to keep getting installed into these leadership positions, like in the time of the scandemic, where literally every face on the TV, from Fauci to Trump to Biden to Klaus Schwab to Cuomo to Gavin Newsom to every other person that they kept showing you, all Jesuit educated. That's like 0.5% times 0.5% times 0.5% times 0.5% times 0.5%, which is like 1 in billions. That's why if people had common sense and could do basic mathematics, they would realize that this is impossible, other than it being a legit conspiracy way beyond a theory. And yeah, and then what's amazing is people don't even see it, and then they also celebrate these puppets. They cheer for one side when it's obvious that, both sides of the aisle, at least here in the U.S., are completely owned by the same thing. You might get different rhetoric, but at the end of the day, these parties govern no different. They grow government, they grow the surveillance state, they instigate, start, and sustain needless wars, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other thing that's gross right now is Trump keeps saying that he's doing this because of fentanyl. I mean, does that even make any sense? Of course, it doesn't make any sense. And see, no dummy would ever fall for that for not even 1 second if they knew what was going on. And by the way, the whole fentanyl thing. Remember, fentanyl was approved by the U.S. federal government in 1968. What day do we get the transition of power where this guy's ready to go toe-to-toe with Trump? The 68th day of the year, March 9th. And don't forget, Donald John Trump equals 69, or I said 69. Donald John Trump equals 68, like the 68th day of the year, like Catholicism, like mathematics. But again, in 1968, fentanyl approved. C-19 was coined. Again, for the U.S., 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began in New York. How do all these events connect? Think about it. 9/11 happens in New York. Then we go into Afghanistan, kill the Taliban, bring back opioid production, opioid crisis like never before for all of the 21st century, which gets worse as each year passes on. You can see this was all part of a long planned out agenda decades ago. And now Trump, who's part of this cabal, just because it's a buzzword and people know there's a fentanyl problem, I'm doing this because of fentanyl. It doesn't make any sense. Makes zero sense. No, it's all BS, it's all lies, and it's all part of an agenda. And Klaus Schwab gave it to Ron 2020 when he said, you'll own nothing and be happy. This is the great reset. This is making things way more expensive, so there's less consumerism. But these people still sustain their profits because now they're charging way more they sell less units, but they make a way bigger profit on each unit. Again, these people are maintaining their power, their wealth, and making it very hard for everybody who's under their thumb. And the only reason we're under their thumb is because people continue to choose to be under their thumb. Go out and vote in these rigged selections, go along with the puppet show, believe the lies, choose what side of the lie they want to be on, rather than doing what they should do, revolt, pull out the guillotines. So, yeah, again, that's what I see in the big transition. I'm sure there's more to it if we studied Mark Carney and look at his past. But yeah, I just wanted to focus on how perfect it is as they pass the baton from one Society of Jesus member to the next 74 days after Trudeau's birthday. I mean, same things talked about over and over and over. Not to mention the guy's name is 74, Mark Joseph Carney. And actually, you know what? Let's take it even a step further with the whole Jesus thing. 9/3, the date can be written. God's Son 93, Nazareth 93, Crucifix 93. We'll see what Mark Carney's fate is in due time. They say the sun is 93 million miles away. Again, Trudeau's birthday is the day the Catholic Church celebrates the sun's birthday in the sky, as well as the Son of God's birthday. If anybody else has anything to add to this, I'm going to drop the link to join. I know we have some Canadian viewers out there. I saw a lot of people asking me to look into a Pennsylvania plane crash. I can look into that as well. Cybertrucks getting lit on fire in Seattle. Lighting Teslas on fire in Seattle has been a thing for a while. I told you guys the last time I was down in Seattle. Well, I guess it wasn't quite the last time, but a couple times ago, that day there were multiple Teslas on fire on the streets of Seattle. People just setting them on fire. That's been going on. All right, so I dropped the link again. While we wait for some people to hop on, a lot of people asked if I can look into the latest plane crash story. Manheim Township plane crash. So Pennsylvania, after the Eagles win the Super Bowl, with all of these plane crashes directly connected to the Super Bowl, as we were talking about before it happened and since after. Again, the one after was the most obvious. The two Vinces have their planes crash into each other in Arizona, where the last time the Eagles and Chiefs played the Super Bowl was the day after the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Somebody said there was just a terrorism incident in Mannheim, Germany. So a week ago, a car drives into a crowd in Mannheim, Germany. And then Manheim Township has a plane crash days later. So it looks like this happened on a Sunday, just like the Super Bowl's on a Sunday. It happened on a day that we were at 9-3. Of course, Philadelphia Eagles is 93. The Super Bowl is on the 40th day of the year, so this happened 4 weeks later, or 28 days, but 9-3, Pennsylvania plane crash. And again, if you're new here, we said at the beginning of the year why this year might be full of plane crashes because of gematria. Plane crash equates to 97, the 25th prime. 97, the 25th prime. These two numbers have been a huge pattern in 2025. But yeah, that's standing out. And by the way, just about this happening the day before the new Netflix documentary on Osama bin Laden. That starts today. Today's Osama bin Laden's birthday anniversary. Don't forget the Jesuit ritual they took him out in, if he was even really taken out. CIA asset, Jesuit-controlled CIA, Catholics in action. But yeah, Netflix has to put out oh man, I really get the joke now. What a joke. What a joke. Look at how old Osama bin Laden would be today, you guys. Did you see it? How old would Osama be today if he were still alive? Remember, he died 54 days after his 54th birthday when Jesuit order equals 54. So does Islam. So does terrorism. But look, Osama would be 68 today. Remember, Osama bin Laden was enrolled at a very exclusive private school in 68, the same year World Trade Center construction began. 911 made the national emergency dialing code. Muhammad Atta born. That's the parallel with Timothy McVeigh, also born in 68. But yeah, what a joke. On Osama's 68th birthday, the new Netflix documentary. God. Hold on. This thing that says coming soon. They said they're going to release it today. Here, let me see. Unless they changed the release date. They were going to put out that Wednesday show. Yeah, it did come out today, March 10th, 2025. 68th birthday anniversary. And remember, he was a CIA asset, Osama. CIA, 68. All right. Well, we don't have anybody else who's joined the stream. Thank you again, Roblanto. You're very generous. We'll stay on there next. Wish more people supported the work. By the way, somebody told me I should ask my subscribers to hit the unsubscribe button and then resubscribe. They said that can help with getting notifications if you unsubscribe and then you resubscribe. I imagine most of the people here watching the video are probably getting notifications. That's why you're here and other people are not. But maybe you're watching this later today and you didn't get a notification. If you're listening, maybe hit the unsubscribe and then click subscribe again. I just heard that can help so that you start getting notifications to the channel. And I know a lot of you guys are subscribed and you have the bell clicked and you still don't get any notifications. Again, it's all part of the major suppression of this channel, which works because we don't get any views anymore. So I don't know if Edward Snowden is Jesuit educated, but he's definitely a puppet on the world stage. Let me see. Edward Snowden education. Let's see where he went to school. He went to school overseas, huh? He went to public school in Maryland, but then went to school in Liverpool also. That's interesting. But no, he's not Jesuit educated. Okay. I appealed my X suspension and they upheld it. So yeah, I don't get it back. They permanently got rid of the X account, which is frustrating because I've been doing more on there lately than ever. And I started doing some posts exclusively on there, which I'm really mad about. I should have just been doing them on my own website. But I'd never had a problem with censorship on there, so I didn't see that coming really. I guess I should have, in light of what I've talked about for years, how YouTube did their first real purge of the truth community on Elon Musk's birthday back in 2017. about 100 of us lost our channels that day, including myself. Um, so for that person that says drop the link to debate, I keep dropping the link. Why don't you come on and if you want to debate something, there's the link. Bring it on. Is Twitter currently down? It looks like it's up to me. So no, it might be down in some areas, but it's funny when the trolls get in the chat. Again, the link has been dropped. If you don't see it, you got to open up your eyes because the link has been dropped. I just dropped it again for you. It went down 4 times today. Okay. I can read more about this Pennsylvania plane crash while we wait a few minutes to see if anybody else wants to hop on. I do need to end this stream in about 20 minutes. You know, I just thought about something too with the plane crash in Pennsylvania the day before the Bin Laden news. Remember when the news broke about Bin Laden's death? It was largely broke through a baseball game between the Phillies and the Mets, Philadelphia Phillies. So there's probably something to that as well. Of course, Pennsylvania is where the U.S. was originally founded. Officials are investigating after a small plane went down on Sunday near a retirement village in Lancaster County. According to authorities, all 5 passengers on board were rushed to local hospital. Luckily, no one on the ground was hurt. The plane crash occurred around 3 p.m., according to FAA, which said it will investigate. The National Transportation Safety Board is also monitoring the situation. Yeah, just again, just the thing that jumps out is just another plane crash this year. There's been a gazillion of them in the news, Pennsylvania related. Just like how we said, all of them have been connected to the Super Bowl, which is a fact. Yeah, it seems like this is the least significant of all the stories that have broke. But yeah, the Mannheim thing also jumps out. All right, we still don't have anybody in the back room, so the troll in the chat is just that, just a troll. Did you guys see that Jaguar Wright did a shout out to Gematria? She said she's got to bring on her Gematria guy. I wonder who is her Gematria guy? If you guys haven't seen this, I'll pull up this clip real quick. We do need more people talking about the knowledge. And I do wonder if she might have caught wind of it through Lord Jamar, because he did a live stream with her, and I was leaving a lot of comments in that live stream about Gematria and the code. Just never know where she picked up on it. But hold on. I have to switch my audio settings around here. Huh. I know I emailed myself this clip. Okay, here we go. She was talking about the death of Angie Stone, and then she brought up Gematria. And then the guy on the screen wrote the word down wrong. He wrote down the spelling as Jumatria. Not quite right. All right, hold on. I got to switch the audio. Okay. So the video that this is in is on a channel named Jamel, aka Jamal. He has 1.14 million subscribers. About 19,000 people have seen this video. It's just after the 4-minute mark. She's saying that the Angie Stone thing looks like a sacrifice. And a little after 4 minutes, our favorite word comes up. Here we go.
Just watch Angie Stone get moved around in real time on her son's birthday. I think it's time for me to call my Gematria guy. I think it's time for me to do a live about the numbers.
The numbers make no sense. The fact that, like I said, the fact that they look trying to
look at the Gematria, if you look at the Gematria,
the Gematria. Okay, so anyway, it's almost out there, right? I wish he would have spelled the word correctly, but maybe you got to spell the word incorrectly if you want to have 1 million subs. Because if anybody's out there spelling it that way, they might not find the subject. So, but yeah, I am happy to see the word getting passed around on bigger channels. We need a lot more of that. Yeah, a lot of people do say that she's a nutcase, and you know, she says a lot of things that aren't true, but, and I guess in a way, you know, people might say, oh, well, she's talking about it's definitely got to be false. But again, this word needs more attention. More people need to find out about it. And in the future, I hope this channel spells it correctly. Thank you, Deanna. Or is it Dina? If I said it wrong the first time or the second time, I apologize. But thank you for spreading the word. An oil tanker crashed off the coast of England today. Do we have an oil spill? Oh, we'll see. Right now it's being kept as a small story. We'll see what emerges. And that's the kind of world we live in. It just reminds me of like what was that 2010 the BP oil, or not BP oil, or was that the BP oil spill in the Gulf? And then it came out that Dick Cheney, his Halliburton had bought the cleanup company that got the huge contract just days before the spill was announced. It's like, okay, that doesn't seem like some funny business going on right there. All right, we got Open Up in the back room. Got at least one hop on. What's up, Open Up?
Yeah, what's up, Zach? I just wanted to get on to see if you could post the link to that video you just had up, the Jamel, aka Jamal, so that we could have like people put in the comments if you want to explain the numbers with Gematria, then to bring on Zach because he knows about it. See if that could have any impact.
I just dropped the link in the chat. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I just put it there.
Yeah, that's all. But other than that, I mean, like you said, it's been the year of the plane crash so far. We're only 3 months in, and we have what? I don't even know how many. 10 plane crashes already.
So, what do you think about the Netflix Osama documentary on his 68th birthday anniversary?
Man, I wish I could say that I'm surprised, but at this point, what's surprising for us, right? 68th birthday, Terror 68. We all know about 1968 and 9/11. I mean, it's a good way to share the work, like something simple like that, with people who don't, know about it, and just bring up the simple 68. That probably could convince some people, keeping it on a low level like that. But yeah, I think it's funny how they had today ready for that release.
Yeah, indeed. So,
all right, but yeah, that's it. Just for people to go to that video, leave a comment, telling them if they want to know about Gematria, just to bring Zach on or go to Zach's channel. And you did a video on her too, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember if I did.
Angie Stone.
On Angie Stone, I definitely did.
Yeah,
Jake
yeah, you did a video on Angie Stone, so yeah. That's all I had for you.
All right.
All
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I used to do a number of shows with Crow. Well, I don't know. I've got trolls in the chat saying they want to debate. The link's been dropped several times. Again, you got some objection. You think what I showed about this Canada ritual isn't true? Come on and talk about it. Incorporate flat Earth. Well, this isn't a misinformation channel. This is a misinformation channel. I would be talking about the flat Earth. Yeah, it's just like the Who song. New boss, same as the old boss. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, hold on. Let me see if anything else is buzzing. Daria has a generous observation again. She says, Zach, did you cover the death of Dolly Parton's husband? He died on the 62nd day of the year. Keep up the great work. I did catch the news, and I might have. I don't think I ever did a video on it. Let me see if I even put up a post on it. He did die on March 3rd, the 62nd day of the year. Husband for 59 years. 59 thing. He died 43 days after her 79th birthday. R.I.P. and killing her 43, and she's 79. We know murder's 79. Again, like Daria said, 62nd day of the year. Jeff Young, our friend in the entertainment world, would always tell us that the most Masonic branch of music is country music. Freemasonry's 59, whereas Masonry alone's 33. 59 years of marriage on 3-3. It does look pretty Masonic. I remember a handful of years back, there was the show that came out, Launch 49, a comedy about Masons. And I just remember in one of the episodes, I haven't seen the whole show, but I saw the one episode where they find like this hidden room in the old lodge that has skeletons in it. And, alluding to some kind of funny death business was going on there, some hidden compartment with dead, I wasn't going to say bodies, but I guess, skeletons. All that remains. So I might not have done a video on that, but definitely some familiar numbers. And then the other thing you could also say, it was 43 days after her birthday. It would have also been her 44th day of her age. Kill and execution 44. But thanks again, Daria, for the generosity. Oh, we got Daria. Daria's even on the scene. What's up, Daria?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
I just have an observation. We've been seeing a lot of 62s with celebrity deaths this year. We saw the death of David Hasselhoff's wife, or his ex-wife, died at 62. And we saw the death of Michelle Trachtenberg. She died while her co-star from Harriet the Spy, Rosie O'Donnell, 62. And something I wanted to point out is Demi Moore. She had a good year last year. She was nominated for the Oscars. She won a lot of the critically acclaimed awards for the movie called The Substance. And she's 62 right now. So
you think Bruce Willis would be the one that might be in trouble?
Yeah, that's that. I had pointed that out back. I had put out a tweet a few months back while the award show ceremonies were going on, and yeah, I think that's somebody that we should definitely keep our eyes on because I mean we've seen this a lot with celebrities. Once they turn 62, we see them, you know, either lose loved ones or children, you know, ex-husbands or wives or even co-stars. And yeah, so Bruce Willis is definitely somebody to watch out for because I know I think he's got like what dementia or something. So
Similar
and
to
then not
that,
to
yeah.
and
Because
then
it
not
was
to
Will Smith, wife alopecia, and then right after that it was Bruce Willis with the memory thing. You can't know, and it was like some other word that started with A. I hadn't really heard it before, but it's related to dementia.
yeah. And then not to mention, I think they were married in November back of 1987. So this year they would be 38 years since their marriage. So definitely he's somebody to keep an eye on. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and they say he probably had like some kind of like a brain aneurysm or a stroke or something, and he passes away. But yeah, he's definitely somebody to watch out for. So yeah, so those are my thoughts, and just wanted to tell you to keep up the good work, Zach. And
All right, appreciate it, Daria. Thank you for your
yeah,
generosity as always. Much appreciated.
all right, bye, Zach.
All right, you have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. All right, and then JHD Fam says, "Yes, sir. Have you ever covered the moon landing? Do you mean the one that just happened a few days ago, supposedly? Let me see. Texas company's lander dies on moon the day after toppled landing. It landed on the side. Just can't get it right since 69. You got to do these moon landings in the time of cancer in 69 or they just don't work out. It launched on the, look at that. You got to love that it launched on the 57th day of the year, right? Remember, there's a big connection with the moon in 57. So it launched on the 57th day of the year. Okay. What day did they say it officially landed? I see the problem was Thursday. Is that the day it landed, though? Hold on. It landed on March 6th. That's the 65th day of the year, so it was 8 days later. Wasn't Apollo 8 the one where they went around the moon, they didn't land on it, and they read Genesis at Christmas time? Let's see. Yeah, it was. So this was like one of the big moon missions before the landing where they read from Genesis. All right. March 6th, 65th day of the year. Touchdown at approximately 11:30. Remember, they supposedly put the Scottish right flag there on the moon back in 69. Scottish has that old 113. This is a different one. March 6th. Let me think. What day would it have been? 4 days ago. Okay, so, okay, it was a Thursday. What's the name of the company again? Intuitive Machines. Well, what do you know? Look at the gematria of Intuitive Machines. 201. The moon landing that happened was on the 201st day of the year, right? July 20th, 1969. Again, Neil Alden Armstrong, his full name has that 201. Actually, God, they triple overlap with Neil Alden Armstrong and Intuitive Machines. 20184, like the Jesuit Order. Order of Illuminati is a triple overlap as well. Order of Illuminati is 201, 258, 105. So, okay, Intuitive Machines. The only thing that's eluding me right now is why Thursday? Why the 65th day of the year? Would have been 79 days after the Pope's birthday at Society of Jesus. Or who runs this company? Intuitive Machines CEO Steve Altimus. Let's see. Founded in 2013. Again, the moon has the 13th month cycle. Headquartered in Houston, Texas. A lot of these CEOs, there's not a lot of information about them online. He used to work for NASA. I guess just measuring from the anniversary of the moon landing that everybody thinks of. Let's see, the last anniversary would have been last year. $229 days later, the 50th prime. It's a big America number, which means it was 136 days before the 16th triangular number. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something here. I feel like, because they do things on dates for very specific reasons, but in this case, let's measure from Musk too, because they said that it was SpaceX that launched the rocket for him. It was 251 days after Musk's birthday, the 54th prime, like Jesuit Order. 114 days. It would have been exactly a span of 36 weeks into his age on 3/6. Well, you know, the 3/6 thing could be a tribute to NASA, because NASA has that 666 connection. National Aeronautics and Space Administration has the Gematria 666, and you run the alphabetic order in reverse. And also the name of that company had the 258 in it, like number of the beast. Again, 666 is the 36th triangular number. So again, the beast is associated with Satan, like the snake. NASA has that snake tongue in their logo. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, because I caught that headline, but then I forgot to look into it. They got a 56-second story about it. Perfect. Yeah, somebody might have a better observation about March 6th. Yeah, the main moon landing, July 20th, 1969, again in the time of Cancer, where Cancer is ruled by the moon, and its symbol looks like 69, and July 20th is the 201st day of the year in a non-leap year. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Times 2. Yeah, if anybody else has a thought on the March 6th date, could be something astrological I'm missing, but the launch date seems to me a lot more symbolic than the landing date. All right, I'm just seeing if there's anything in the chat here. Yeah, I definitely mentioned it being the 65th day of the year, but I don't know where that fits in with the ritual with the moon. Is there something about the number 688? 688 lunar phases after the moon landing. Again, in Derek's calculator, if there was going to be something at 688, you'd want to search 3 ciphers. Hold on. Not in the base. The bigger numbers, standard, Latin, and satanic, are the ones that produce the meaning. Sometimes Sumerian, but I don't think anything's going to come up in Sumerian. It'd have to be like a multiple of 6 for it to be meaningful in Sumerian. Well, let's see what comes up with 688. Could there be anything related to the moon or space? Cold War is interesting. The Cold War is interesting because the space race had a lot to do with the Cold War. They say we're kind of in a new Cold War with Russia, but I haven't really heard them beefing about space. So interesting, but I wouldn't say that's what they're doing. President Trump would be 688 and satanic, which is interesting. He's, pledging the moon mission, or not the moon, the Mars mission. Let's see. I got to wrap this up here in a minute. I'm just seeing if there's anything that jumps out. It could also be, one other thing to look into would be the actual Hebrew language, because their cipher produces a lot of bigger values as well. Orion spacecraft. I don't think that's what they did the mission on. Yeah, the only real takeaways I have for right now is just the name of the company and that it launched on the 57th day of the year. I can't think of what the right word is for the 57, but in the moon's orbit of Earth, like it moves 57 degrees in relation to the Earth up and down. I forget what the right terminology is for that, but that's how you can see that it's not arbitrary that they included moon equals 57 in the most simple cipher. There's a legit relationship with the moon and the Earth in 57. So this moon mission took off on the 57th day of the year. And the 8 days later, again, this 8 on its side is like the infinity symbol. Same stuff over and over. There's probably a greater explanation we're overlooking. If you figure it out, feel free to leave a comment. I'd always copy your comment before you post it, because so often you'll post your comment and it just goes into God knows where, as YouTube instantly censors it and deletes it. But yeah, also, again, if you got here, maybe, and you're not getting notifications consistently, maybe try unsubscribing from the channel and then just resubscribing. Somebody said that helps for people to get their notifications back. I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody said to try it out. They said it seemed to work for their channel. So it's a thought. Okay. I don't know what Kobe Bryant would have to do with this. I don't think anything. All right, but yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Again, thank you everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to the super chatters. Appreciate it. Again, Rablanto, you've been very generous. Daria's always been very generous. JHD fam was generous 2 times. Appreciate that. And we'll leave it there until next time. All right, True Seeker. Take care.